Ready to go.
Okay. Good morning, everybody, and welcome back. Today we're working on this little Tecumseh powered yard machines. Now, I think it's got two problems, but we got to fix the first one to see if the second one exists. So we're going to start off with the carburetor. So all you new people out there, go ahead and subscribe. It's free, and it's what we work for. So let's get started. So when I got this, I saw gas in the oil, which tells me that the float's sticking on this. And also, you can see it's just worn out. It's obviously been sitting for a long time. So we're just going to replace it since this is a Tecumseh carburetor, and these don't tend to take the rebuilding as well as others do. So to replace this one, it's a little bit different than others. I'm going to first thing we're going to do is take the muffler off, which is just that easy. You've got a power tool. Now the next thing we're going to do is pull the carburetor. And we're switching, we used 7/16, now we're using a 3/8. A 3/8. And that's about it. And you want to be careful taking it off. You've got a gas line, you've got your PCV valve, and you've also got your other governor line. Oop, it just fell off while we were doing it. Very nice, that made it easy. Okay, now we're going to pull the PCV. We're going to get the air filter out of the way. Sorry. Now to get to the gas line, even though I know it's pretty much out of gas, we're still going to kick it. And we'll go ahead and grab the clamp right here. We'll try to Ouija it off. And there we go. And we do all that. Well, let's move our magnet. It's being helpful. So we want to do that before we try to take the governor arm off, because it's just hard to get to it any other way. And there we go. It comes off just that easy. So let's take her over to the bench and put the new carburetor on this. So now we're going to use our 3/8 here and our 7/16 on the nut, because they are different sizes. I went easy going when I got started because sometimes they're so tight, they grab and try to twist on me. And now, it's like a quarter. And it's a quarter. And that's it. See, we're looking down inside the carburetor, you can feel that this feels very brittle. It's very, very stiff. You can see rust marks in here. I opened the bowl up, but we already know we don't want to bother with this one. So let's take our shiny new carburetor and be careful to make sure we put everything in the right order. Make sure it's upside up. Just ease this tube over. So it should go on easy. There's one. We don't tighten it too tight until we get this one lined up on the other side. There you go. And that's that. And with a new carburetor, you take away all the little headaches. Do we have any gasket for this? Yes, we do. So now pay attention when you're putting it back together. You got two things you want to watch for. Number one, you want to make sure you don't put it on upside down. Number two is this little bracket. You want to make sure this little bracket goes in the right place. So we get the bolt started. The other bolt started. And from what I was told, this mower has a problem where it stalls after a while. That could be a vapor lock in the carburetor, because it's got rust in it. But that's very unlikely. You very rarely see that. And I only see it on these carburetors, which is the reason we're replacing it rather than rebuilding it. Once they start failing, they keep failing. They never get better later. Okay. Let's grab a wrench. Go back to our handy little 3/8. A little tight, not too tight. This one, you want this to be right about here when you're done. So we're going to get it kind of snug and stop. Right there. And here we're going. Kind of interesting on the design of this. You can push this forward and backwards to change the idle on the engine. So if you want it to idle a touch higher or a touch lower, to bend that little bar, and it will. But she tried to run off on me. But we're ready to go. So let's get her back over to the motor. Now, if you took pictures taking her apart and putting her back together is pretty easy. Remember, this is the last thing we did, and we always go in reverse order, putting it back together. And we'll put this governor arm in place, and this one falls off pretty easy, so there you go. Once she's all the way put together, it goes pretty well. Until then, she can be a pain in your neck. So put the fuel line back on, get the clamp set back in place. It's almost there. There we go. Now, the PCB we can do later. We get the bolt started. We're just almost there. And if you don't take pictures, this can really be an uphill battle to get these things put back together. Yes, I use Ultra Red from Permatex for a gasket on this one, because I do see air leaks on the front of this quite often, and that just makes that problem go away. Now we'll double check our linkage, make sure it's all in place. And it is. Make sure it's moving. And it is. So everything looks promising. Put our PCB line back on. Now all that's left is put the muffler back on. Switch back for 7/16. Well, right there. Almost put her on sideways. Now these bolt holes are hollow on the inside, so sometimes you get like this and not be able to find the other side. There we go. Now let's put a new air filter in her and she's ready to test. Okay, where's it at? There we go. No, it's pretty good. So let's put her on the ground and run her, see how she runs. Okay, let's give her a run. I just realized I did some of this without the microphone. So this probably might sound a little echoey before this. I've got noise cancellation turned off. I'm not going to promise this one will start on the first pull, but I'm hoping. Yep, for an old Tecumseh, that sounds pretty good. I know we usually rebuild the carburetors on all the lawnmowers here, but that Tecumseh carb, they tend to be a pain in the neck. Once they fail, they keep failing. You'll just have one thing after another start failing on it. So I always replace them. It just saves the aggravation, and the replacement carbs are pretty cheap and they always work. So all you new people out there, if you made it this far, you might as well subscribe. It's free And it's what we really work for. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.